Thailand's interim Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has given his first policy speech. Prayut seized power in the military coup in May. He launched his cabinet earlier this month. Pachari Raksawang in Bangkok is following the story for us. Pachari, good evening.
Good evening, Jean. Prayut stressed that his government will concentrate efforts in 11 fields. He pledged to narrow the gap between the rich and poor to promote public reconciliation. The army chief wore a business suit for his speech.
We've been able to avoid conflicts among the Thai people for the past 4 months. The important thing is to restore peace and happiness to the nation.
Bangkok remained in a state of turmoil until the military coup in May. Anti-government demonstrators supported by the urban establishment staged massive rallies. They demanded the resignation of the Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra, but Yingluck had the strong support of people from rural areas who have seen little benefit from the country's economic growth. Prayut pledged to reduce economic disparity. He promised to introduce an inheritance tax on the wealthy and increase farmers' incomes through subsidies. He also said his government will work to strengthen anti-corruption measures.
Whatever can be done first will be carried out swiftly and continuously to achieve an effective outcome and understanding.
Prime Minister Prayut's military-backed government has already announced that it will rule the country until parliamentary elections are held in about a year's time. The international community is watching closely to see if Thailand can make a smooth transition to a civilian administration. Many people around the world are also monitoring the human rights situation in Thailand. Groups have issued reports critical of the ruling junta. The government has restored public order since the coup more than 100 days ago, but the reports question the treatment of some opponents of the military intervention. NHK World Soichiro Tanizawa reports.
A group called Thai Lawyers for Human Rights has submitted a report to the Interior Ministry criticizing the sweeping powers of Thailand's military rulers. During the first 100 days following the coup, the report says, the junta summoned at least 571 individuals, including academics, activists, and protesters. Most of them were associated with the Red Shirts movement, supportive of fugitive former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. At least 266 people were arrested after they were summoned, and 61 faced trial by military court. The lawyers insist that martial law should be revoked.
Martial law hands the military ultimate power. And because there are no checks and balances, it can do whatever it wants. Frankly speaking, the military can arrest people without a warrant and confine them instantly.
Another report released by Amnesty International on Thursday includes allegations of ill treatment and even torture. The report refers to the case of Red Shirts activist Krista Kunasen. It says she was beaten with a fist on her face, head, and body. Officers covered her head with a plastic bag until she lost consciousness. Amnesty's report calls on the junta to restore civil rights throughout Thailand. But a spokesperson for the ruling council denies any detainee has been tortured.
When it's come to the idea of detention, people tend to imagine, the torturing or any kind of measure that normally, been used in this case elsewhere, but not in Thailand.
We interviewed a civic activist summoned by the junta 4 times. Woraut Tuak Chaipun is a student from northeast Thailand. He is now on the run. Woraut and other activists held anti-coup banners on the campus of his university following the coup. He said the military seized the banners and summoned him.
An officer said to me, "Have you ever been disappeared? Disappeared without any fingerprints left behind? I could kill you now, beat you without breaking the law, because we soldiers have taken power."
Fearing for his safety, earlier this week, Woraut fled Thailand. The United Nations human rights body has repeatedly called on Thailand's rulers to comply with their international human rights obligations. The junta says it needs what it calls special security measures to deal with the sensitive political situation.
This is the background. We need to have some tool to deal with the problem, some decisive tool to fix the problem. If we compare Thailand as the patient, we are at a coma and we are bleeding. We need to apply something to stop bleeding and to recover from coma. We need to have a strong medicine.
Public order appears to have been restored since the military led by General Prayut Chan-o-cha seized power in Thailand. But reports alleging human rights violations show growing concerns about what may be happening out of sight. How the junta responds will reveal much about the intentions of Thailand's new leadership. Soichiro Tanizawa, NHK World, Bangkok.
The junta council spokesperson was asked about the student activist's testimony. He denied that any activists have been threatened, saying the military has a code of conduct. The issue of human rights under military rule is drawing international attention. The Thai junta is under pressure to secure transparency and ensure accountability. That wraps up our bulletin. I'm Pachari Raksawong in Bangkok.
Pachari, thanks.